Harper Audio presents If Wishes Were Earls by Elizabeth Boyle, performed by Susan Duerden. Prologue.
It is but one night, my truest, my dearest Miss Darby, but it is all I need to carry you into the starry heavens of pleasure. I promise you this, come with me, and from this evening forth you shall reign forever as the queen of my heart.
Prince Sanjeet to Miss Darby, from Miss Darby's Reckless Bargain. The Masquerade Ball, Owl Park, August 1810.
Oh, there you are, Harry. I'm almost afraid to ask what the devil you were doing.
Miss Harriet Hathaway looked up from her quiet spot on the patio to find the Earl of Roxley standing in the open doorway. Some hero. Oh, he might look like Lancelot, what with his elbow-length chainmail glittering in the light, his dark blue surcoat and the leather breastplate trimmed with gold that seemed to accent both his height and breadth. But he'd taken his bloody time showing up to rescue her. It had been hard enough slipping out so that only he noticed. And even then, it had taken him a good half-hour to come find her.
"Oh, Roxley, is that you?" she feigned. "I hardly recognized you."
"Wish I could say the same about you," he said, his brow furrowed as he examined her from head to toe. "I've been sent by my aunt, O Queen of the Nile, to determine if you are awaiting Caesar or Mark Antony."
She'd spent most of the night dancing with rogues and unsuitable partis, waiting for him to intervene, and now he had. Only he hadn't really. It had been by his aunt's bidding that he'd come to claim her. Yet Harriet wasn't one to wallow in the details, for here he was, and this was her chance.
"Caesar or Mark Antony, you ask?" "Neither," she told him. "I find both quite boring."
"They wouldn't find you so," he said, stepping down onto the patio and looking over her shoulder at the gardens beyond. "You've caused quite a stir in that rag, minx."
Harriet turned around and grinned.
"Have I?"
Of course, she'd known that the moment she donned the costume, and had very nearly taken it right off and sought refuge in some milkmaid's garb. But once Pansy, her dear friend Daphne's maid, had done Harriet's dark tresses up into an elaborate maze of braids, crowned them with a golden coronet of entwined asps, and painted her eyes with dark lines of kohl, Harriet had known there was no turning back. Roxley had come to stand beside her at the edge of the patio. Here, away from the stifling air of the ballroom, the soft summer breezes, tinged as they were with a hint of roses, invited one to inhale deeply. It was magical. Well, nearly so, she discovered. The Earl glanced over at her again, and frowned.
"You shouldn't be out here alone."
"I'm not," she pointed out. "You're here. But I had thought to take a turn in the gardens."
Then she looked over at him again, standing there with a moody glower worthy of Lancelot.
"Whatever is the matter?"
she asked, hands fisting to her hips.
"It's that costume you've got on,"
he complained, his hands wavering in front of her.
"It was supposed to be Daphne's."
That did not seem to appease him.
"I cannot believe my aunt allowed you out in that shameful rag."
"So much for magic." "There is nothing wrong with this gown," she told him. "It is as historical as yours." "Good heavens, I'm wearing more than I was when you kissed me in Sir Maurice's garden," she wanted to remind him.
Then again, perhaps the kiss hadn't been as memorable to Roxley as it had been to her. Her gaze flew up, only to find his face aglower.
"Historical indeed. Mine covers me," he replied.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?